This is your host, Miss B, and we streaming live from Southern California. And this is the Let's Talk About It show with Miss B on WGHP 102.4 FM. My guest joining me today is from Detroit, Michigan. And I am so excited to have her on the line with me. I want everybody to get to know this young lady from California, across the globe, even from Detroit, because a lot of you may not know her. So go ahead and tell everybody your name, who you are, and what it is that you do.
My name is Shahidah. I am an actress, a singer, I'm got quite a few things going on. So, yeah, that sums it up.
So, what made me want to get you on the line is because you're a pretty good actor, and the piece that you showed, it was a very short clip. But I mean, you had the serious look. I've been following you. I want you to know that I'm personally a fan. This is like really our first time connecting, although we are from the same city and state, originally from Detroit, Michigan, until I moved to California. But I've never had the opportunity to actually meet you and work with you. And when I seen that project that you just released, I was like, wow, she's good. She's talented. So I had to, reach out, and I wanted to do this interview. So tell us a little bit about that project. Who are you working with? What is it about? When would it be released?
So, the name of the project is Shutter. It's a short film. I was working with the person that wrote it. Her name is Allison. And Yogi. They were both like working together, getting the film out there, producing it. Allison wrote it. It's a short film. I guess you could kind of define it as a thriller. And it's about basically within the film, there's a student that is a photographer. Photography is her dream. So while she's on a photo shoot, she catches some things on camera that basically are like life-changing events. So ideally, when we filmed it, we were out of lockdown for a moment. This was in November. So, things were open, but obviously things have been shut down since then. So we're not able to do the screening that we planned on doing. So right now it's available on YouTube for streaming. So anybody can go on YouTube, just type in Shutter, or you can also follow me on my social media and get access to it, which I'm sure we'll go over later.
And I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna watch it because, like I said, just that little short clip had me intrigued, and so I definitely want to hear and learn more. Now, when you sent over your bio, you've been acting since early age, and then I kind of also understand that you were in Vagina Monologues, which I know Sean P. Entertainment is a part of that project. So what has it been like with you working in the industry, your come up, and even getting landed for various projects?
So, as you guys have all heard, the industry is tough. Like you said, I started in high school, but I started out doing different things. When I started, I thought I wanted to model, and I had an agent at the time. I started out doing like music videos, being in music videos and things like that. And then I just found out that wasn't really for me. My first passion was always acting. Singing, music came secondary. That's a passion of mine also. But my first passion was always acting. The opportunity for music, to put some music out there and write and, actually record, presented itself first. So I did that. And while I was singing and doing music and performing and networking and meeting people, I started with that had theater projects. So I started out doing theater after taking acting classes. I've been taking acting classes pretty much my whole life, just perfecting my craft and my skill. The opportunity wasn't there at the time. So then the opportunity started coming as I was just out here on the field, grinding, doing my music. People were asking me to do theater, come out and audition. So I'm like, okay, I went out and auditioned for a theater role, and I actually was scared to take the lead at the time. I didn't think I was ready for that. So I auditioned for a lesser role, but the producer, shout out to Shannon, Stacy Johnson, for giving me that first theater opportunity. The name of the play was Spare the Ride. She saw something in me, and she was like, well, I want you to read for this role, which was one of the leads. So I read the lead role, and I ended up landing it. So it just kind of spiraled from there. I've been an extra in like major films that they've done here in Detroit, Batman versus Superman, the 5-year engagement, Into the Storm. I was in Sparkle. So those were my first opportunities on major film sets to just see how things worked. And over the years, it's slowly progressed. It's been a slow crawl, but it's progressing. And so I'm excited about that.
So, for you, the time frame and landing these projects, or let's just say, well, I want to ask one question would be the time frame that it takes you to learn the role, the actual script, because I actually want to get into acting myself, but I've never had any classes or anything like that, but it's something that intrigues me and interests me. So how hard is it to learn these actual roles for you? Like how many days of studying do you do?
Well, over the years, obviously I've used some of the techniques that I've learned while I was taking my acting classes, and then there are some techniques that I have developed for myself. Like one thing that they show you and teach you is to, when you're reading a script, to do it in chunks. So, if you're reading a scene, don't try to memorize the whole scene at one time. Just kind of do it in chunks. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty, it's pretty easy for me to memorize. One thing that I've learned to do also is, as a serious actor, when you get these roles, is to study this individual or his character. Like, for example, there's a movie that I did that they released in 2019 called When the Swine Sings on Hastings. Shout out to Thomas Galasso and Heather Buchanan. And that was loosely based on the life of Aretha Franklin. And I had the Aretha Franklin role. But at the time, I was searching and researching, and I couldn't find much. Obviously there's lots of videos of her performing, but I wanted to see things where I got to see her persona, her demeanor, how she talked, how she walked, how she carried herself. And unfortunately, a movie came out after the fact. And even though I did a good job in the role, when I saw a documentary on her later, I'm like, dang, I wish I had access to this then, because ideally that's what I would have wanted to study. You know what I'm saying? There was a documentary on her that just, it showed her persona, her swag, the way she talked, the way she moved. So that's what I do. When I get a role, I study it, I give it a backstory. You know what I'm saying? If I don't already have a backstory. So those are some of the techniques that I use. And when I'm reading a script, I chunk it so that I can memorize it. And it doesn't take me long to memorize. That's the thing about me. Like, I can get a role and I'll have it memorized in like give me a week.
Nice. Well, I definitely commend you. So I applaud you, and I wanted to, let you know this publicly. When the next time you gonna be in California? Because you stopped in last year, and I still didn't get a chance to catch up with you. Any plans on coming to California anytime soon? Because I actually have a movie script, and it's been very difficult to get everybody on the same page. And with timing and scheduling. So with me, that's the major part of it. I actually casted the roles while in Detroit, and then once again, even there, nobody's schedule came into play. So I would love to have you a part of something that I'm producing in California. We're gonna start off in the summer, but I think this is probably like the better time, only because nobody's really doing anything. And, some people are working, but a lot of people in the industry, I'm finding out they're kind of just looking for something to do. So, are you going to be in California anytime soon? Can I contact you and get you aboard this project? I love to send you a script. Do you have any availability right now?
I mean, I'm always available when it comes to working and doing something that I love. So if you have an opportunity out there that you're working on, that's my cat.
Yes. Okay. So great. I'm gonna definitely reach out to you for that. And then,
Yeah.
just because I do know that you're in Detroit, I'm gonna shout out a few names. You may have worked with them. You may have heard of them. But Angela Dunlap, she's an amazing writer. Jay McClain, Sean P Entertainment. What's going on out there in Detroit? Is it anybody out there that you're currently working with? Any projects to look forward to other than the one that you just did?
So there was a project coming out that kind of got stalled, but it's just it's pushed back obviously because of COVID-19. But I had a role slated in a movie based on the life of Willie E. Ortiz. He's a businessman out of Flint, and I was slated to play the role of his sister. So we were supposed to get started on that in 2020, but obviously, due to obvious reasons, it's been pushed back. So that next role that I know for sure, I pretty much have locked in. Other than that, I'm always auditioning. I have a couple agents here in Detroit, that send us auditions for commercials and so on and so forth, things of that nature. So still always auditioning. I'm actually looking to lock in an agent in Atlanta, like right at this second. So those are the things that I'm working on right now.
And
Right next door, but it's on pause right now.
understood. And while I have you, we're gonna briefly take a short. We can stay on the line here on Facebook, but as far as for the radio, we're gonna briefly take a short break. But anybody that you want to shout out before the break, anybody you want to thank along the way. I know you've been naming a few people that you work with in the industry. Any person that you want to say hi to while we're on the air?
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, shout out to Sean P. He gave me an opportunity in Vagina Monologues. He's been a huge supporter of mine. Like I said, Stacy, Shannon Johnson, Kool-Aid. He put me in one of his films that he did here called Patience. That was actually the first speaking role that I did. That was a lot of fun. And just everybody that's been supporting me over the years, I truly appreciate it.
Okay, give everybody your Facebook, all your handles, Instagram, anything, anywhere they can contact you or find you before the break.
So on Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at Shahidah_H, and that's SHAHIDAH_H, Instagram and Twitter. And then on Facebook, it's Shahidah_singer/model.
Okay, so
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Your YouTube.
My email, you can email me also at shahidahbooking@gmail.com.
All right, so I want you to stay on the line. For those listening on the airwaves, we have someone from Detroit, Michigan. Her name is Shahidah. Say your last name for me one more time. Hasan, and she is on my show with the Let's Talk About It show with Ms. B. We're getting ready for a commercial break, and we're going to be right back after this. And then I want her to, when we come back after the break, I want her to tell a piece of advice that she would like to give to someone in the industry to help you along your way on your journey if you're interested in acting. And then I read on her Facebook that she's about to release maybe drop a couple of songs. So I want to talk a little bit about her singing career, y'all. So we're going to be right back with the Let's Talk About It show with Ms. B. We're going to take a little short break, and I want you to stay with me, and we'll be right back.